Hi, today I'm going to show you how to do two-color brioche knitting in the flat. This is an example of it in the round that I showed in an earlier tutorial for two-color knitting brioche in the round, and it works in a very similar way. Although my heart is with two-color brioche in the round for grasping brioche two-color. It's actually a very quick way, so if you have a chance, I'd actually pop on over and have a look at that tutorial first. But if you're going straight into it on the flat, here we go. So we have these knit columns, and these are brioche knit columns in the blue. And then we have the brioche purled columns or burped columns in the golden. And what happens on the flat is that for each front facing row, you're going to brioche knit these blues and you're going to slip the pearls or the golden colors. And then you're going to slide all the stitches back to the front of your needle again, or the start of your needle again. And then we're going to slip the ones we've just brioche knit and burp the golden pearls. So we slip those and then we burp these. And then we flip the fabric over to the reverse side, and we do the reverse of that. And that is literally what brioche knitting in the flat is about. So I'm going to show you how we get on with that. So here's some fabric I knit up in garter earlier on. So we're going to have a few setup rows. It's going to involve knitting and slipping alternate stitches along this row. So we're going to knit the first one, slip the second one, knit the next, slip the following, and so on all the way over. And then what we will do is slide our stitches back to here, and we will pick up our gold, and then we will work the opposite stitches that we actually didn't work in that row. So technically you only work each of the stitches once, but you're just doing it in different colors for the different stitches. So if we start with this one, I'm going to do a knit one. Slip one yarn over in brioche knitting. You always bring the yarn to the front of the work, slip one purlwise, and your yarn over is created when you knit the next stitch. Again, slip one yarn over is you bring the yarn to the front, slip one purlwise, and the yarn over is created when you knit the following stitch. So again, slip one yarn over and knit, slip one yarn over and knit, and this is literally our first setup row. And because I'm doing it in the blue, this is going to be my dominant brioche knit on the front facing of my work. So again, yarn to the front, slip one purlwise, yarn over, and you knit this last stitch. Now your selvage stitches in your pattern will tell you what to do, but for now I'm just going to be working them, and I'll slip them in my next row. So we're at the very end of the needle. We've worked only one lot, or every second stitch in this in our blue. So now we need to work the opposite stitches in our gold. So we're going to slide those stitches all the way back to the beginning of our needle again. And then we're going to pick up our gold. Now, so we're going to slip the first stitch purlwise again, because we've already knit that the last time. So this is this one's chance that this one, is going to be slipped. And we're going to be brioche purling the golden stitches. So any stitch then that has a yarn over, you know that that is the one you need to knit those two together. That's your brioche purl. So if we do brioche purl, knit those two loops, the strands together, then we're going to slip this. So we slip this, our yarn's already in the front, slip over all the way around, and we brioche purl or burp again. So very much like the two color in the round, we slip over and we burp. And then yarn to the front, because naturally it's there with the purl stitch, slip purlwise, yarn over, bring it to the front of our work to brioche purl, and knit the two strands together, or purl the two strands together, I mean. So again, and burp, So we do slip one purlwise, round, over, and we purl. Slip one purlwise, yarn over and around to the front, and we burp or brioche purl our stitch. So we continue that until we get to the very end here, and I'm just going to slip this last stitch. And then we have our yarn. So this is the front of our work for the first row. And what we have done is we've knit our blues and we've burped our goldens. And so we have done basically, I know it feels like you've done 2 rows, but you technically have only done 1 row in each alternate stitch. So now it's time to turn our work over. So we turn to the opposite side of our work. And now we're going to do the reverse of what we've just done with our colors. So because our blue was knit on the right side, now it's time for it to be purled or burped on the opposite side. So again, I'm just going to slip. So we're with our blue color. I'm going to slip the first one, and then I'm going to slip. You work a slip one yarn over. Again, bring it around, and then you're going to burp the 2 again, and so you're burping the next one. And then you're slipping the solid gold because that's what we've just purled in the last. We're going to yarn over and we burp again. So we're slipping, we're yarning over, and we're burping. We're slipping, yarn over, and burping. Slip, yarn over, and brioche purl. Slip one purlwise, yarn over, and brioche purl. And slip one yarn over and brioche purl. And again, we're at the very end. I'm just going to slip that last selvage stitch. So because we've only worked literally every alternate stitch again and we've burped it, it's time now for the golden to be knit on this wrong side or the reverse side fabric. I won't call it the wrong side because technically you can use it as a right side as well. So again, we're sliding our stitches all the way back because this time it's the golden turns to be picked up, and we're going to brioche knit the stitches. So I'm just slipping that first stitch again, and then we are going to brioche knit these 2 stitches, and then we're going to do again our slip one yarn over, so bring it to the front. We're slipping our blue because we already burped it in the previous I guess half row, and then we're going to do our yarn over, and then we're going to knit the next 2. So we're going to purl or slip purlwise over, and so slip and purlwise, yarn over, and brioche knit. Again, yarn to the front, slip one purlwise, and brioche knit. Slip to the front, or yarn to the front, slip one purlwise, and brioche knit. Yarn to the front, slip one purlwise, and brioche knit. We just continue that, and then we have worked, and we'll have done both our golden and our blue stitches, and now it's time to turn because we've actually worked our 2 lots of stitches, just alternating which one we do. And here we are now at the very beginning again, or I guess what I'm calling my right side of work. And we have our brioche knit columns in blue starting to come through there, and our purl ones slightly receding. We'll see it on the next one when we work a couple of more rows, and the work will increase. So now I'll do a few more rows with you, just so you get the hang of this. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to be brioche knitting our blues and slipping our goldens, which is our brioche purls. And then we're going to slide our work back to the front again, or back to the beginning of the needle. And then we're going to slip the blues and burp or brioche purl the goldens. So with our first stitch, we're going to knit, and then we do a slip one yarn over, and brioche knit the next one again. So yarn to the front, slip our golden, because we're not going to do that this round, we'll work him in the next row. So yarn over and brioche knit. Yarn to the front, slip our golden, yarn over, and brioche knit the 2 strands together. Yarn to the front, slip 1 purlwise, and again we just continue that until we get to the end. So we're slipping our golden, we're doing our yarn over, and we're brioche knitting the 2 strands together. Slip 1 and reach the 2, and then I get to the very end and just knit that last stitch. Now we're at the end of that row, but we've only worked, remember, we've only worked our brioche knits. We have done nothing with the goldens, we've just slipped them. So now we're going to slide our work all the way back to the beginning of the needle again, and we're going to work our golden stitches. So I'm just going to slip this first stitch. So because again it's a brioche purl, we bring our yarn to the front, we're going to burp those first 2 strands, and we're going to slip our brioche knit that we just worked and do our yarn over all the way around and brioche purl. So we're going to slip purlwise, yarn over, and burp. Again, slip, over, and burp. It's one of my favorite in knitting, slip, over, and burp. So we continue that, slip our brioche knit, purl, our brioche purl, our stitches, slip 1 purlwise, yarn over, and the front. And so we've worked then each of the stitches in its appropriate colour on just 1 row. And then we slip our, actually I'm going to slip that last one with the yarn in the back. So this is our front. We've worked both our brioche knit and we've done our brioche purls in our gold. So now it's time to turn the work and do the opposite side and apply the purled, the brioche purling to the blue, because we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to slip this one, and then what we're going to do is slip this purl stitch again, yarn over, and brioche purl the 2 strands. Slip our golden, because we're working on our blue column, remember, yarn over, and we're going to brioche purl that. So that on this side you see is getting purled. It's like the opposite on a rib, or the opposite, you purl the right side and knit the right, or knit the right side and purl the wrong side. So slip, over, and burp. Slip, over, and burp. And slip, over, and burp. And then we're going to slip, over, and brioche purl again. Slip, over, and brioche purl. Now, again, because we haven't actually dealt with our goldens yet, we need to slide the work back and do our golden stitches, which were purled on the right side row, or the right side of the fabric, if we want to call it that. And now it's time for them to be knit on the wrong side. So I'm just going to slip this first selvage stitch. Again, your pattern will tell you what to do with your selvage stitch. So then these need to be brioche knit. So we're going to bark those 2 strands together, yarn to the front, slip 1. The yarn over is created when we just brioche knit the next 2, and we work our way to the end and brioche knit. Yarn to the front, slip 1 purlwise. Again, yarn to the front, slip 1 purlwise, and brioche knit. Got a bit of a tangle here. And then yarn to the front, slip 1 purlwise, brioche knit. Yarn to the front, slip 1 purlwise, and brioche knit. And then we'll have worked our both sets of stitches in their appropriate colour. So we're finished, and then we turn over and we're back on our, I guess what I refer to as your right side row. But as you can see, there can both be right side rows because they're both pretty dominant. On this, your purl is slightly recessed and it is further behind the blue. And on this one, it's more dominant again, and the blue is behind. So it just depends on what the pattern calls for you to do. And that is how we do 2-color brioche knitting in the flat. And I hope you enjoy it. Have fun.